welcome back to DIY Farm. It's been a snowy and very cold week, and like everyone here in the UK, we've had our troubles, but of course the work must go on. The animals still need feeding, so here's how it went. This is what our insulated heated seats are like at the moment. Right, we're not getting over there. Load up some bales. Doing 1 or 2 a day in each sheep field and even more to the goats. Right, we're back out. So this is hay for the sheep and also the pigs that are still outside, which probably should be inside, but I'm putting them up with straw every night and they seem to be doing alright. It's only the water that's a bigger issue out here. Morning, you lot. Good girl, Maggie. Back then. Let's top you up. Hey, that's not for you, that bag. It's my feet. Alright, see if we can get 2 bales in here. It's one less thing to do first thing in the morning. If you needed any proof how good sheep wool insulation is, there you go. Absolutely rock solid with frost on top of their wool. Oh, it's the dog and the ram standoff. Be nice, Mags. How's your foot doing? His back right foot's still not up to scratch. And that sore on his bum is sorted now. That was where he was rubbing himself in solitary confinement. Morning, lammies. Let me get some of these brambles off you. Or not. Alright, let's do a quick count. Make sure no one's on the ice. 1, 2, 3. Maggie, I'm counting you now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 18. All there. That's 1. Right, it's your own fault. Right, let's get these out. Oh, there's always one. Get off your food. Well, that is the chores done. I can just about feel my feet still. I've let the goats have a bit of a sun terrace today, so they've been out to enjoy the snow. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but I'm sure they've seen it before. Of course, all this brings an element of peace and quiet, and it's all very beautiful, but it has been a very hard week. Especially the water freezing, that was probably the hardest part of it all. Finding water to fill a kettle, to boil the kettle, to defrost pipes, but we managed to work our way through it, and we've learnt lots in our first week of harsh temperatures. The animals all did fine, and actually even the pigs were well bedded down out in the field, and they held up just fine, and they're already enjoying some of the grass now the snow's disappeared. It's not just food and water that caused its issues this week. Even just getting access around the farm had its challenges. The truck was out of action, unfortunately, and that was down to what was a fuel issue, then a filter issue, and in the end, I'm glad to say it's now sorted, but it was down to the tractor to take up the reins. The lake remained frozen for pretty much the whole week, if not longer, but after that final warm day that we've just had, everything thawed out overnight, and it's as if it never happened. One of my final little challenges was to slide the boat back behind the tractor along the snow. Went far better in my head than it did in practice, but it at least got it halfway back. In the end, it seemed to be pulling out the side of the tractor, the back of the tractor, on the slope, and that was just a little bit dodgy for my liking. Well, I feel like this should be the last few days of this. It's been pretty tedious, but it was to be expected. I don't think we ever get frozen temperatures for this long. But anyway, I'd say it's a little bit warmer today. It's -3, -4. This is the main culprit. However much straw we get over this pipe, it still freezes up, and this is the lifeline really of the farm. There's 4 of these in this building, but this one's the only one that's disconnected. It's mainly the valve which is sticking. Right, another kettle's on. I'm hoping a bit of the residual heat might have carried on. This is a trickle here. Let's fill up a block of ice. Yes! Yes! I think everyone's thirsty, aren't they? I don't think the animals really like cold water at all. Even icy water, supposedly, they can turn down. And on the couple of groups that we belong to on Facebook for goats, people have lost goats this week to kidney failure because of, even though there's been water, the goats just haven't been going for it because it's just been too icy. So fortunately ours is still running, the automatic drinker. It might be worth pouring half a kettle in there now and then. Right, against it today, so I'm going to try taking the Volvo down the field. It worked last night after school. Truck might have packed up. The tractor is a bit slow, but Big Black Beauty, the Swedish tank, is, I think it's kind of home ground, isn't it? Swedish snow.
It's amazing.
Luckily I put enough hay down there yesterday, so I shouldn't need to put any hay bales in the car. Make sure the cat's gone. That would add grip. Now over the years we've actually ended up using this Volvo in a lot of snowy and icy conditions on lanes. The only dodgy bit is coming back up the slope afterwards, and I might try and film it this time because it felt like it did a fairly decent job with its all-wheel drive. Lots of birds around getting into all the muck. Good girl, Maggie. This way then. This way. Alright girl, you're coming in this week for Christmas. I haven't got anything for you, I'm afraid. Now remember, hopefully all these are pregnant now. Hopefully it's the right rams, but if not, to one of the two. But it won't be for, I guess, Feb until we can scan. They are getting to the grass on this field, but hopefully, I'm hoping it will thaw out a bit and they can move on to that grass down the bottom because there's a fair bit down there. So a green dot was basically where they've been tucked. You can see the mark at the back. I just transferred that when I saw it to the front. So they got a green dot. So green dot means that they had been served. But I only did that on the cleanse. That's Freddie. Fred's going to come out in a few weeks. So will Samson, wherever he is. And I think we'll move them maybe even up to the barn. And then I can bring the lambs back in and we can keep 99% of the sheep together. Maggie, leave it, Maggie. Right, let's hit the slopes. A couple of these tyres are a bit flat. That's probably a good thing for us. I'm gonna catch the underside. So the lambs is just purely a check this morning because they should have over a bale from yesterday evening, and also again I filled up their water but they're just not touching it, so we'll check on it. But as you can see, the boat hasn't moved. It was just pulling, even though it's not heavy, it was just pulling the back end of the tractor down. It just felt dodgy, so I've left it. Right, let's see. Well, so far so good. Volvo. This is the dodgy bit. It just slips down, and the gears are not low on this Volvo at all. Whoa, like that. I know you'd all love to see me get stuck, but it's not happening because I've got to go and pick up a child's slide. Whoa, yep. Come on, sausage. Of course, I haven't brought my leather gloves, I left them in the car, so there's probably going to be something stuck in brambles. Hi girls. And boys. This is the problem, when you do the hay out in the open, they just spread it, and as soon as they trampled on it, they're not interested. So yesterday I put it up against this gate, so at least it couldn't go too far, but they still trampled it. Alright, everyone's spread out today. Go steady, girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Good. You need to be eating this. Probably slept on it, haven't you? Am I right? I mean, I will appreciate a gate when it's actually done. This time next year, I'm hoping that we'll have our track built, which will be a track tucked in against this hedge, but flat this way. Because at the moment, while we do use that as our access, everything's on a tilt, and it doesn't take much for the back end to slip round. There's a few things that need to happen first. One is for the ground to be better, i.e. not wet or not frozen. But then also there's some grants going through for some countryside stewardship stuff, and also we need to make sure we're ready to fence at the same time. Plus we'll also have to get planning for that. The joys. If it was grass only, we wouldn't need planning, but I think we might put it down to stone just for, access and just for all year round. How are we going to get out of this pickle then? If it wasn't for these ruts, I'm pretty sure it would take it at speed, but we're going to have to navigate it. Alright, camera, don't fall off. That's alright. I think it might have lightly caressed the underside. £2 for the car, however many years ago. It's 18 years old, but the system it uses is, I think they call it, is it Haldex? Basically the same that's in Joe's car and also in, I think maybe things like the Freelanders. And it just sends the right power to the right wheel most of the time, because there was definitely no grip here, but between the four wheels and a bit of clever trickery, it does just fine. I'm not sure the truck would be better, maybe it's got better tyres, so it's got better gearing, but it doesn't have, you're the brains, whereas this does the job for you, to a certain extent. Now I've got to pick up a slide in a sheep trailer, so you can leave that with me. I think and I hope this is the end of the snowy episode, so I will be leaving it here. We've got a whole load of stuff that we still need to do down there, but I'm just waiting for it to thaw out a little bit. But pipe laying is one of them, probably not in the freezing weather, but we need to get that done, and also all the hardcore which is still sat in the dumper, plus a load more I need to get delivered in the gateways, because that's where it's going to get really messy when it actually defrosts and then rains again and gets back to a normal British winter. If you enjoyed this frozen jumble of a video, give us a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you next time.